Welcome to the Wright podcast. Today, we're going to be doing our review on the spring 2025 release of the Russell's 13 year, coming in at 123.8 proof. So we actually opened this up a couple hours ago. We have our thoughts on it, but let's have a pour and tell you what we think then, now, and what we hope it will be.
Better pop on that one than the initial pop.
Honestly, though, for real.
It was kind of disappointing.
Here you go, sir. Yeah, the first pop that we had for the fresh pop was not that good. I was kind of surprised by that, to be honest.
Didn't you say earlier this is their first barrel proof that they've done?
I think last year might have been the first barrel proof. Maybe. I'm not 100%, but they've recently got into it.
I do know whenever we were talking about it, just in conversation, I went and looked and seen. I do know that comparing the logo to the 15 year and then the 13, it does not have barrel proof on the 15.
Okay, I did not know that.
But the 15 was the 117.2 or something like that.
Right.
So who knows? But
maybe it was like foolproof or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. But I like that it says, because we like barrel proof. So
oh yeah, love a good barrel proof. All right, so when we first opened this, honestly, we were watching Larson go for the win during NASCAR. Had to throw that in there because congratulations to Hendrick Motorsports on that. Got to have his NASCAR, his Larson gear. I'm a Chase Elliott fan, but Hendrick wins. That's what matters. So, when we first got it, my tasting notes was so first the nosing notes. It was a little bit sweet. It had a little bit of a ethanol burn to it, but not super high for being a 123 proof. And I was getting a little bit of that turkey funk on the nose, but it was just like sweet and funk. On the palate for me, I was getting that funk up front. I was getting a little bit of a like cinnamony, peppery spice to it, and then a short, I'd say medium finish with a decent amount of viscosity and a little sweetness on the back end, very faintly. But the spice was a little bit more prominent for me.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying about the spice. So for me, up front on just the nose in itself, it was very sweet with a hint of that turkey funk. But then on the palate, it was sweet up front, but then drastically moved into not particularly a baking spice, but kind of a cooking spice, but not peppery for me. I don't know what that would be called, but kind of because more of a baking spice is more cinnamony in a way, but this one wasn't very much cinnamony to me. So it was kind of it was a spice, but not a cinnamony spice. But it kind of rode the palate most of the way, and then at the end, I had that turkey funk that you're talking about. And I wasn't that huge of a fan of it, honestly. And I kind of kept having to go back to it, trying to figure out, because it caught me off guard. Because like last year, the 15 was one of my bourbons of the year. So going into this one thinking, oh, wow, I'm so excited, it kind of slapped me pretty good. And I was like, damn, this is not good as much as I was expecting it to be. But I'm kind of really excited to go back into it and see how much maybe it's opened up over the past couple of hours of being open.
Yeah, and I mean, the Russell's 15 last year set the bar pretty high, but I also think the Russell's 15 was drastically different than this one, too. I mean, we had high expectations, but, like, to me, the 15 was way more oaky. It had more age on it. This one, the 13 has a little bit of age statement flavors to it. Like, they're a little bit more bold, more prominent, but I wouldn't necessarily say they were as strong as the 15.
Yeah, and I want to see how, in comparison, because also, like we talked about earlier, comparing this to the 15 and the 13, they're going to be drastically different, and they are drastically different. But from what I've got out of this compared to like the 10-year, I think these I want to compare them between the 10-year versus this one. Go back to the 10 years that we have, because I have a different one, you have a different one, and just see the different batches and see what we think about them, because I think that would be a kind of a good blind, because these are so similar in terms of that turkey funk that I think that perhaps maybe it might make a good comparison to see which one might end up being
fair. Top. Well, let's dive into our second pour of this one for the night. Now, we did have something else in between, in all fairness, but let's see if it has changed as the bottles opened up just a little bit over a few hours.
It's not as much on the ethanol.
Yeah, the ethanol has died down, so you saw the fresh pour here, but even just the bottle being open, I think, helped with that ethanol burn on the nostrils.
It's a more refined sweeter than what it was, but also, too, like I said, the ethanol has gone down.
I'm getting a little less of the turkey funk on the nose and a little bit more pecan-like. A little more nutty in a way, and still a little bit sweet.
I kind of get like a sweet cherry.
I'm not getting the cherry.
I actually am getting a cherry, which is
usually,
different.
yeah,
I don't ever
usually
get
that's
that.
more like Buffalo Trace gets the cherry.
Yeah, I don't ever get that on wild turkey stuff. And I'm getting a cherry now, but
Yeah, I'm not getting the cherry, but I think the nose has gotten at least a lot less ethanol. Nose hasn't been too much drastically different, but got to try the taste. Still a little spicy.
I like it a lot better now.
Okay, the fact that he's saying that, okay, he literally was like sitting there trying to find what he liked about it, to the point where he was like, here's what I just dislike about it.
Mm-hmm.
He really did not like it before. So that's
And that's why I said I really bad wanted to see how it opened up,
mm-hmm.
because right off the get go, like I said, it just wasn't good to me. But now it's kind of mellowed out on some of those sharper things, like I was saying, where the spice and the that turkey funk.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's kind of mellowed together. It's not as strong. It's not as potent as it was, and it's blended a lot better on the palate than what it originally was.
And it goes to show, letting your whiskeys open up. Do not judge them off the first pour.
Yeah, and but like I said, first pop, I was like, damn, I don't like this. I was trying to figure out what I did like about it, but
He was almost trying to say, man, I can't believe you bought this.
no, well, I wouldn't say that. Now I'd have bought it myself.
I'm just messing with you.
No, I said I'd have bought it myself, but I would have bought it in terms of like the past experiences of the 15. You know what I mean? Like whenever you got it, oh shit, I was excited. Like we got one, but now it's.
So I'm still getting the peppery or the cinnamon, like the spices on the middle. The funk for me has died down a little bit, and it's like a little less strong, but I'm still getting like the sweetness. It's almost syrupy on the back end. So for me, it's funk, spice, sweet with the finish. Now, the only thing being barrel proof, and it does say, because I need to verify here, non-chill filtered. Even though it does say non-chill filtered, it's not as viscous as I want it to be.
I can see that, and it's because it's not as thick and like you're saying, but
I mean, good rich color though.
yes,
Color is fantastic.
it don't have hardly no legs at all.
Yeah, I mean they're there.
It's just they're very spread out. They're not very.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's very spread out.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go. Still, they said it doesn't have as much.
Well, we're gonna do that. That way you can lean.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's there. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like the legs show some viscosity. They don't drop down quickly, but they're not collecting. And I think I want a little more viscosity of that. Now, I don't know if that's anything they can change. Kind of just the way it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
There might be a way to change it. If any master distillers are watching this, please comment if there is a way
Please.
to change that, because I would like to learn, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just wish it was a little bit more viscous. I think that's the only thing I can nitpick here and really say I wish it was more viscous, more oily, because I'm getting the syrupy, oily taste without the syrupy, oily feel.
Yeah. Which to me, that's kind of I don't even know how they would even do that, because like I don't know, because to me I always think it comes from the barrels. So did they do something different with the barrels? Is it a different char?
I mean, it could be. I would like to know.
Because you are right about that, because it doesn't have as thick viscosity as the normal one would be. Because we've had 10 years that's got more viscosity than that. So I don't know if maybe it might be something that they've done differently, or we just could, we could be just
Don't know
idiots.
about. Because like I guess that's the thing is like, I like the flavors that are here. You've grown on the flavors.
Okay, yeah,
that
we're
are here.
So,
But I just I'm really missing the viscosity. I was hoping for a 13-year and a barrel proof, non-chill filtered. It would just be a little bit more richer. And I think by looking at it, seeing the color, I have a higher expectation, and maybe I just set my own personal expectation too high.
really,
Maybe. Just because, like, based off the color. I mean, like, look at that bottle. Like, that is a rich, nice color. You know what I mean? Even in the glass, it's a rich, nice color. So when you see non-chill filtered in a nice deep color like that, I expect that viscosity, and I'm just not getting it. And maybe I did set my expectation too high on it. Flavors are there. Mouthfeel, not subpar, but not.
I'll agree with you on that, because the difference in, like, you are right, because you would expect it to be, this very rich and vibrant thickness to it because of the color, but it's
and the age.
Yeah, but it honestly, it does drink and feel weaker than what it actually is. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not saying I don't like this.
I will say I like it a lot better on the second run, because to me, I get cherry vanilla.
I still don't get the cherry. Okay.
I get a cherry.
I still don't get the cherry.
I get a cherry vanilla. I get a cherry vanilla, and I'm a huge fan of it on the second go around. I get a cherry vanilla
On the palate or on the nose?
on the palate.
Okay.
But
I can't. Okay.
But the aftertaste of what you were saying, but going back to the whole like viscosity and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's gone. I
I
don't have no lingering flavors whatsoever, and I don't like that.
It does fall off quicker, and that's that whole oily richness, right? It does fall off quicker. I wouldn't say it falls off quickly.
Yeah, well, yeah, but we're used to drinking like some very stuff that lingers for like 15 minutes.
I'm not getting the cherry though. That's an interesting. Okay, that's it. See now here's where our palates are differing again.
Mm-hmm. No, well, here, let me switch blends. Let's nose it. Let's do that. We've never done that before.
Nope, it's all the same.
Really?
Yeah, he ain't sick, so I'm just gonna swing it.
Nope,
it tastes the same.
I still get a cherry. It's kind of a cherry vanilla-ish.
So switching blends for science did not pan out in this hypothesis. It's a big word for me. And the funny thing is, mine is a fresh rinsed Glen. Yours is a fresh Glen. Like washed, soaped, everything, dried, all that good shit.
Yeah, I get a cherry vanilla. I like that I like that a lot better. I like that.
I'm still not getting the cherry. I love how you get the cherry. I love how you get it because I don't. Like that shows that our palates, even though a couple of the last reviews have been like fairly
the
similar.
same, but that's kind of a breath. It's kind of a weird. For the most part, we've always been different, but for the last little bit, we've been the same. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air of an originality for us. But no, that one, I like that a lot better. But there it is. I get the turkey funk.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there, but
for me, okay, here's what's weird for me. You get the turkey funk at the end. I get it on the front. I get sweetness on the end. You get sweetness on the front. You get cherry. I get no cherry. I get pecan. You don't.
I do get vanilla though.
You get vanilla. I don't get vanilla. I guess maybe a little bit. Maybe that sweetness to me is like it's not as strong enough of vanilla, but it's like the sweetness of it.
So let me ask you one thing. In the past, you have said you kind of render or the thought of the pecan taste to the bitterness. Do you get But you said earlier you didn't get no bitterness off of it.
Correct.
So.
And you said you did earlier.
Yeah, well, I did on the back end a little bit, and so maybe perhaps the bitterness that I was saying on the back end is that pecan that you're looking at, and like because me and you, the culture difference between where you grew up and where I grew up, we think of things differently. So that might be where we're coming together on the same ideas, but it's just the way that we would
interpret it.
Yeah, that might be the difference.
Because maybe for me the sweetness is a vanilla, but it's just not prominent enough for me to say yes, that is a vanilla.
Yeah,
and that could be it.
Yeah, so it's
so good though.
It has opened up a lot more. Like I was a very 4 out of 10 on the original, but now it's lingering more. I feel like the more we have it, it's going to jump up to an 8 real fast.
So what is it currently? So because I want to talk about what we think it may open up to. Because this is still only been open for a few hours. Say we let it sit for a couple weeks, like we have for one of these other bottles that we need to go back to in a couple more weeks. Just for experimental purposes, right? Like we kind of agreed that one bottle we're not going to touch for a couple weeks to really see what the difference is. We're going to rewatch our video, get our tasting notes. This one we went back to in a couple hours. Mm-hmm. Now we can let it sit for a couple weeks, and we know now the difference of the two. What do you think it's going to open up to? Like, what's your prediction on that?
Open up like on the palate itself,
or nose, anything. Or nose. What are your expectations for it in the future?
Well, here, I'm going to say what my wants would be or my hopes because I don't really know how to predict it because how drastically it's kind of changed thus far. I'm really hoping for some more depth to it than what it is now. Drinks a little bit more. of how we talked about the colors and things like that. I hope that it can bring out some more of that depth and richness to it, because I feel like that will jump it up to like a 9 out of 10. Because right now we're at like a 7.5, 7.6 out of 10. But to me, I feel like the more on the second pour, it might jump up to an 8, because I've figured out what I like about it more. So now I can hone in on those better than what I originally could on the initial pop. Because the initial pop also too, I was trying to get out of the ethanol burn. I was trying to get out of that stuff and trying to then, it also was kind of a shock to me because it caught me off guard.
Right.
So, and then I had to backtrack and try to figure out what I liked about it. And that kind of threw me off. And then I was kind of like it's a survival of the fittest, trying to figure out something because then I was like, I love the Russell stuff. So it's kind of, trying to figure that out. Now going back into it, realizing I didn't like it to begin with, I was kind of, oh, I do like this. And I feel like the more I drink it, the more it opens up, the more that I will like it. So what I would like to see out of the bottle is more of those complexities and richness jump up there and get more in the depth of it than what it is now, because you are right. It feels weaker on the palate. Now, not particularly flavors, but just the consistency of those flavors.
Right, like the depth.
Yeah, the depth of it does not pull through and have that long-lasting feeling like some of the other ones that we've done, like the Barstowns or the Stags and stuff like that, where it's like it's a damn barrel proof, so it's like, ooh, it's there, and I get those richness that's there. I would hope that, and I hope that it opens up more, that just so happens so that maybe we can get those more richer depth and complexities than what we have in the first quarter of the bottle.
Yep. No, that makes sense. So on my hopes for this one, I'm hoping, because you're never going to change that viscosity. It is what it is. Like that oily, rich mouthfeel, that is the way it is. That's never going to change. I'm hoping that the sweetness comes in a little bit more. I'm hoping it becomes a little bit more prominent so I could pinpoint the note a little bit differently. And I hope the cinnamon or peppercorn, spicy, whatever I'm getting right now, which is mainly cinnamon, mainly baking spice. But I hope that kind of actually, I want it to like die down a little bit on the harshness, but linger a little bit more. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm hoping for this one. On the nose, I don't think there's going to be much change on that one. It is what it is, but I don't know, like I think I'm a 7 out of 10 on this one right now, and I don't think I'm going to get to an 8. I think it'll be like a 7.5 out of 10. I think as it opens up, a few of the flavors will be a little bit more prominent. Will change a little bit, minutely, but I don't think it's going to be like drastically different.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was really good from the start, and I think like your experience being fairly subpar, then going to pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Now you're expecting it to open up a little bit more. I think I was like, oh, it's pretty dang good, and it's going to stay pretty dang good, but it's just going to minutely change the profile ever so slightly.
Yeah, and that's a very good breakdown. You are right. That's a very good breakdown, because I dramatically was kind of shocked at how, I like it a lot better now. I'm hoping for a miracle.
Right.
Right. So, but yeah, I think you are right. It's not going to change that. But I agree with you on that. I feel like I'm hoping that it does kind of enrich it more than what it actually, initially was. So,
yep.
But the low and hold true, what'd you pay for it?
True MSRP of $150 plus tax. Tax varies on state. Mm-hmm. $150. I got it for $150. Luckily, I got it in North Carolina on a little trick or treat Halloween.
Yeah, it was a special event.
Yeah, it was a special event. But North Carolina, in all transparency, does sell all of their allocated bottles at MSRP. Well, actually, all their I want to say allocated. All of their bottles are MSRP.
All their bottles.
Their allocated stuff. Sometimes the owners of the said stores will do shady things every now and then. I will not put anyone on blast. You have to work with your store, specifically in North Carolina. But they have to sell them at MSRP. So, yes, I got an MSRP at $150.
You got to spend $45,000 a year.
Maybe. Just situational. Better than other stores that are in South Carolina right next to the border near Charlotte. Anyway, I would buy it again at $150. Yeah. I don't think I would ever pay the secondary price of $250, $300, even $400 for it. I don't think I just having it now, $150. Do I still think it's high? Yes. Will I still pay for it because that is the MSRP? Probably.
I would.
Probably. Well,
Like,
I
I
say
would.
probably for me because I already obviously
Yeah,
have
I mean,
it.
I would. I would. Like I said, if you could, if you can run across this bottle for 150, get it.
Yeah.
Like get it.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead because I guarantee you're never gonna find it
No.
for that price.
And actually, that was kind of my thing. Is like when I was at that store, I said, there's a handful of things that I would purchase at MSRP if they were on the shelf. And lo and behold, this was one of them. And I straight up passed on a Stag 25A. I passed on a Penelope 13-year estate collection in the green box. I passed on a couple other like solid Joseph Magnus cigar blend. I passed on that one. Both of those were a little bit more expensive, obviously. But I said, like, this is the one that I've kind of been like wanting to try. And especially now that it's a barrel proof, that if I saw it at MSRP, they don't come to our state. They don't come to South Carolina. So the fact that I can get it at MSRP right over the border,
It was worth it.
Yeah, for me,
It was a win. It was a win for you, and it was a win for us. Like, it was a win for us all together because we like he sent me a thing. I was more excited, and he got the bottle. I didn't get the bottle. I was so excited for him. So
and he was like, "I'm coming to try that." I'm like, "You know, it's going to be open when you do, or we're going to open it when you do."
Yeah. So it was very, very good. Altogether, I would consider it a right pour.
I would consider a right pour at close to MSRP. Close to.
Now, I thought about this, and I'd like to start doing this. What would you consider paying for this for a 1 ounce pour at a bar?
Ooh, okay. Actually, that's a good way to end the segment. Knowing that I paid $40 for a 1 ounce pour of the 15-year, and the MSRP is technically $100 more, I would pay like between the 25 and 30 mark. So I guess like $27.50 if you want to split it.
$27.50
kind of deal. You know what I mean? Because like I know what to expect out of a previous pour of the 15.
Stand behind that. I mean, I wouldn't pay it, but I could.
Okay.
But
I don't want to pay it.
Yeah,
but I know what the bars are going to charge.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Well, and
well, they'll say 28.
100%. I can say $27.50 for a 1 ounce pour. I could stand behind that because also too, you get to say you try it. It's going to be a hard to find bottle. Most people, I will say, 9 out of 10. Most people aren't going to be able to find it readily available. You're going to run the chance of finding, even at a bar, you're going to run the chance of finding a Stag or finding one of these other bottles around the same price. Of course, get it. It's going to be a very good pour.
Yep.
But if you want something different to say, you got to try it and you got to experience it. I feel like it's worth it.
Hot take. I would buy this at a bar over a Stag because I think trying it would be more than unique than trying a Stag.
Yes, I that's what I was getting at.
Yep.
And I am a huge Stag fanboy. Like I got to go pick up 2 this week. But
if I had a choice between a Stag and this at the bar, I would choose this because like Stags, I don't want to run this too long, but I don't want to say that they are consistent.
Yes,
but you have more of a similar expectation.
Yes,
where I think this one is like it could be wildly different than the last ones.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that because I have been let down with the last 2 Stags that I have. Honestly, that's a hot take. I've been let down. Listen, the one that I picked it ended up being one of the bourbons of the year for us, like 2 years ago, and ever since then I've been riding that high. So, but no, hot take, 100%. This one here is definitely a right pour. A right pour at a bar. It's a right pour if you get the bottle itself. At both, at least, so we would say estimated $27.50 is kind of the number we're going to lock in as a fair price for a 1 ounce pour. That's a little high, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to find this bottle. You're not really going to be able to find this bottle anywhere, and it's going to be one of them hard ones that's going to get scooped up. Even bars are going to charge a high price for it. So if you find it for that $27.50 mark, that's definitely a right pour in our opinion. And if you find a bottle for MSRP, it's a right pour.
That's for dang sure it is. So we're going to polish off what we have left in our glens. Until next time, cheers, y'all.